Hey fellow travelers, Mark here with Wolters World. We're in Prague in the Czech Republic along the river here. You got Charles Bridge behind me. Beautiful place to relax. Prague is an awesome place. And the Czech Republic in general is fantastic. What I have for you today are the 5 things you're going to love and hate about visiting the Czech Republic. Now, I like to get the bad news out of the way because in general the Czech Republic is fantastic, okay? But I just, got to get the bad news out of the way. And the first thing you're not going to like about coming to the Czech Republic is you don't know anything about the Czech Republic. I mean, we were in school, we learned that there was a Czechoslovakia, and then something happened, and then there was a Czech Republic and a Slovakia. And so since you don't have that background, you're not sure where you should go, what you should see aside from Prague. And there's all kinds of great places here. Czech Krumlov, Pilsen, here in Prague, obviously, all kinds of great stuff. So you're not going to like the fact that you just don't know. And so you have to do the research before you go, because it's not just a given thing like, oh, I know Berlin, I got to see the Great Wall, or the Great Wall, that's China, the Berlin Wall and stuff like that, okay? The second thing you're not going to like about coming to the Czech Republic is the public transport. Now, there's a good and a bad side of this. Now, the public transport goes everywhere, the trains, and the buses, and the metros, and all these things, but they are slow, they are outdated, so what you're used to doing like in 2 hours in Germany might take 4 hours here. So what I recommend, especially if you're looking at train travel, is take the buses because they are cheaper. Also, they are faster. So if you want to go to Czech Krumlov from Prague, the bus is significantly faster than the train. Okay, so just realize public transport, not always the best, not always the newest, so you might not like that. But it does go everywhere, so that's a great thing that way. The third thing you're not going to like when you come to the Czech Republic is the language barrier. Now, not in the tourist cities like Prague or Czech Krumlov, but if you get out and explore some of the beautiful nature that the Czech Republic has in some of these small villages, not a lot of people will speak English. Now, the young people will pretty much everywhere. They'll speak some, but it does get a little difficult. And since, the Czech language is not like English and it's not like German or Spanish, so you can't really kind of make out some of the stuff, that does become an issue. Yeah, so the fourth thing you're going to hate, we came up with the St. Vitus just for a little bit to get you the fourth one. The fourth thing you're not going to like about when you come to the Czech Republic is the driving and the drivers here. I mean, the drivers, when it says slow down, they kind of look at it as a nice suggestion, not that they really need to slow down. So really be careful if you are driving or crossing the streets. Also, if you are driving to get some of the nice small towns or get out to the forest areas and stuff like that, the highways here are a bit old, and so they can be a bit bumpy, and that kind of goes into why the public transport takes some time, because the road system isn't super great. I mean, it's fine, but just be ready for a few bumps and bruises along the way and a little bit extra time to get there because of the bad highways, the not so good highways and the crazy drivers. Okay, so that's the fourth thing you're not going to like. Now, what is the fifth thing you're going to like? Let's see if I can find another place to put this in. Okay, we're in Brno in the Czech Republic, and for the fifth thing you're not going to like about coming to the Czech Republic is, I guess you could say it's kind of the male fashion choices of the country, whether it's the hockey hair inspired by national hero Jaromír Jágr, or wearing socks with sandals. The men here don't really match up with the women, so that might be something you don't like. No, honestly though, that is kind of funny when you see it, but probably the fifth thing you're not going to like about coming to the Czech Republic is the service. They're not as professional at their jobs as like in Germany, where they're not friendly, but at least they're professional, or Austria. Here, they're a little bit less professional, a little bit less friendly. Now, the people are nice when you meet them, but for some reason in service, it's not too good here. Even though if you want to be nice and you want to tip, here it's 10% if they do a good job. If they do a bad job, you give them nothing. Okay, so I hope that gives you the 5 things you're not going to like about coming to the Czech Republic. So what are the awesome things? So here are the 5 things you're going to love about the Czech Republic. And let's go back to Prague for that one, because frankly, Prague is so awesome. Bye. Now, those are just little annoyances. The Czech Republic is fantastic, and I highly recommend you coming here. But what are the things you're going to love? Well, the first thing you're going to love is the natural beauty. Guys, when you're taking the buses and the trains, you have a lot of time to look out the windows, and you will see beautiful landscapes, hidden castles, towns, villages, all kinds of stuff. But take out your iPhone, your iPod head things, and put down your iPod and just look outside, because it is beautiful when you do go through the Czech Republic, because the natural beauty is fantastic. And you can go even hop over to the Tatras Mountains in their, the brother country Slovakia. But really, taking in the nature, going hiking, going out into a beer garden, all kinds of stuff to take in, just being outside in the Czech Republic is my personal favorite thing to do in the Czech Republic. The second thing you're going to like about the Czech Republic are their magnificent, restored forward, but also just magnificently kept villages and towns and historic towns like the Czech Krumlovs out there that really are, like, they make these jokes, you know, the gem of Europe or whatever, but I honestly, Czech Krumlov is one of my hidden gems in Europe. And they have a lot of these small towns you can go to in, you know, Bohemia, and not just Bohemia, but all over the Czech Republic. And you get to see how things were hundreds of years ago, because the Czech Republic wasn't too damaged during the Second World War. I mean, there was damage, but it wasn't as bad as, you know, like the Germanys or Holland or Belgium and stuff like that. So you get to see what these cities look like hundreds of years ago, and it is fantastic seeing them. The third thing you're going to love about coming to the Czech Republic is the beer and the food. The Czechs are famous for their beer because, well, I'll be honest, it's really damn good. And so if you go to Pilsen, you can see where Pilsner beer was first invented, you know, and go to the Pilsner Kell brewery or drink anywhere throughout the country. The beer is fantastic, and even if you don't drink, you should at least try it because it is part of their culture here, and it is fantastic. And also with the beer is the food. The local food in the Czech Republic is really good. It's very hearty, lots of dumplings and pork, and oh, the duck, oh, I love the duck. You gotta eat the duck at least 5 times in 2 days. I mean, that's what I'm going for, but the duck is fantastic, and there's all kinds of stuff, but what's really sad is in all these tourist cities, they'll have like this long of a list for Italian food and this long of a list for American food, but then they'll just have a little part saying, oh, Czech specialties. Go out there and get the Czech specialties, just eat from that, whether it's the pork, the beef, or the duck. You will never go wrong. The food is fantastic and the beer is fantastic. The fourth thing you're going to like about the Czech Republic and their buddies in Slovakia are the people. The Czechs are actually very friendly and very helpful, and if you're going to these small villages, they're going to want to show you around, asking you, why are you here? Shouldn't you be in Prague or Czech Krumlov? No one else comes here. I mean, I was in Ostrava, it was a university town, and the students there, the people there were so much fun to go out with and hang out with. No, there wasn't much to see in Ostrava, but there's a lot of fun stuff to do with the people, and that's why, I mean, I really enjoy the Czechs. I mean, you'll have a good time with them, they'll show you around, they'll tell you the history, and they won't BS you. They'll tell the good and the bad, and I just really love that about the people here. And the fifth thing you're gonna like, and your pocketbook is going to like, is coming to the Czech Republic is relatively affordable. Now, I'm not saying it's cheap, okay? This isn't Eastern Europe. This is Central Europe. You know, it's not, oh, a nickel gets me a beer. You know, I've been coming here since the late 90s, and in the late 90s, it was super cheap. I was living in Berlin, and it was like half the price. So when you're here, you will be getting stuff at 20 to 30% less of high prices in the, you know, in the Germanys and stuff like that. Here in Prague, it's only about 10% less, you know, but it is easier on the pocketbook. And you get to have a beautiful place like here in Prague, or you know, or Czech Krumlov, or even if you go to Ostrava, you can have a fun time. And you can save a lot of money, and it's beautiful to be here. And the fact that, hey, it's light on my pocketbook makes me very happy, okay? So those are the 5 things that I love and hate about coming to the Czech Republic. If you have your own things, you know, your favorites or your hatiest, please leave in the comment section below. We always like to know other people's opinions. I'm gonna go walk back and forth along Charles Bridge a few more times to take it in before I move on to my next destination, because honestly, I don't want to leave the Czech Republic because it is fantastic. So I wish you a great time here in the Czech Republic, or if you want to learn more, top 10 places to see, 5 things you love about here in Prague, check us out at our website at woltersworld.com. We're also on Twitter and Facebook, and we appreciate all your likes and subscriptions. Bye from Prague.